Hey drummers, Garey Williams is back with another reaction and analysis video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the legendary Jimmy Cobb. He recently passed away, so there's a bit more news about him. So it was a great time to do one. So let's check out Jimmy Cobb. Okay, I'll pause it right here. Good spot, because obviously he dropped a stick, and he's going to get a new one. Your name, cuss. Amazing. Cool. Mostly the kind of a mid-up-tempo bebop swing kind of solo. He's known for that. Jimmy Cobb is one of the persons that I think a developing jazz drummer should start by listening to, like, let's say, Freddie Freeloader. Okay, it's off a Miles Davis tune with Jimmy Cobb on drums, and it's just a really great place to start when you really want to understand the balance between the different appendages when playing traditional bebop jazz. So he's got a strong ride, a clear snap on 2 and 4 on the hi-hat on these recordings, and then the bass drum's almost inaudible most of the time, and there's some snare drum copying. This is the standard approach to timekeeping for jazz. It's cymbal-driven music. Obviously, I'm not talking about that here. This is a solo. So I'm just listening to it because it just started right out of the gate. But basically, mid-up-tempo kind of bebop swing with some cool stuff happening, lots of repetition. And so that's one of the things, like when you hear melodies that repeat, so you can kind of get the hook stuck in your head. So that's a very musical approach to soloing. The format of playing in 8-bar phrases as well as repeating themselves and playing melodic lines up and down. Really like where he ended here before the stick drop, and we get back into it with the cymbal crash. And some sort of hand foot. Kind of so 2 against 3 polyrhythm was 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of nice little stuff that he's doing to create that sort of syncopation. So let's carry on. Really Oh, yeah, there we go. It just launched right into it. Linda's Jazz Nights, it says here on this stuff, but trying to listen for exactly what the tune was, and now we heard that at the very end there. So cool stuff. He made very good use of the stick drop. All great musicians, as one of my first band director would say, some of the best musicians in the world make more mistakes than anybody. They just know how to hide them. And it's really like impromptu speech. Sometimes something comes out that wasn't exactly what you intended, but it works itself back into the conversation in a clever way. So when he dropped that stick, he went into kind of a one-handed ga 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 quarter note triple thing against this tempo. Ga 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 ga. That way he could sort of open things up, snares came off, and then he kept that same theme going. And when he picked up the stick, you notice that he had the right stick with the butt forward. So he was playing with the right stick backwards. So it had a broader, more abrasive cymbal sound, not heavy and out of context, but just a different tone than if he would have had it that with the tip forward, which he started that way, but because he dropped the stick and he kind of reached and grabbed, sometimes the sticks get grabbed backwards and you just end up continuing to play. But I really liked how he made use of that, and then he did that sort of almost like a tribal effect with the snares off and playing down on the floor tom, and then worked that back into solo before getting back into the more tempo that he started with. So really cool stuff. Cued the band to come back in because he was playing over the form so that you could hear that in the phrasing, which made sense now because I'm hearing these 8-bar phrases. And outside of the context of that one phrase, which might have been a little extended, because when the time goes out of the window, it's hard for you to continue to hear the time in your head if it's not being demonstrated by the player. I'm sure he still had the tune in his head and worked in some kind of those cool triplets to get him back into 2 sticks and back to the original tempo. So Jimmy Cobb, one of the very great drummers, a very, very important drummer to start with when you are beginning your development into small group jazz drumming, because his impeccable taste and sense of time and groove. And he definitely had some nice chops. A lot of single stroke stuff there. I didn't see a whole lot of double stuff, some stuff in the left hand and a little bit in the right hand. But for the most part, he kind of worked some hand-foot patterns around and a lot of single stroke stuff. And again, repetition, call and response, and phrasing. So again, very musical Jimmy Cobb. I hope you liked my analysis. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. If you're interested in lessons, check the text box below. I also have online courses and a very cool Facebook group. So until then, I'll see you in the next reaction video. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.